Hello viewers, welcome to my videos about regional economics focusing on Shanghai, China. Today, me, Nasywa Salsabila, with student ID 555-323-0088, and you will explore how Shanghai acts as a growth pole, its impact on neighboring cities, and how we measure its economic performance using GRDP. Now let's move to the next slide. So, the growth pole theory developed by economist François Perroux explains why some cities like Shanghai become economic powerhouses. Growth isn't evenly distributed, it clusters around dynamic hubs with key industries, innovation, and infrastructure. The fundamental concept is that growth in these hubs will subsequently radiate outward to surrounding regions, fostering economic development through various mechanisms. For example, increased demand for goods and services, labor migration, and technology diffusion. These poles are typically characterized by the first is key industry. Industries with high growth potential and strong linkage to other sectors. In Shanghai boasts a diverse economy, prominently featuring finance, trade, manufacturing, incredibly high-tech, and a growing focus on advanced technology and innovation. Its port ranks among the busiest in the world, facilitating international trade. Next is agglomeration effects. The benefits firms and industries derive from being close to each other, such as shared resources, knowledge spillovers, and a larger labor pool. Shanghai's density of businesses, research institutions, and skilled labor produces significant agglomeration effects, drawing in additional investment and talent. And for the innovation, growth pools tend to be innovation centers, driving technological advancement and new product development. Shanghai is a hub for innovation, featuring numerous research institutions, universities, and technology incubators. The city is actively fostering technological advancement in fields such as AI, biotechnology, and advanced manufacturing. And last is infrastructure. Well-developed infrastructure such as transportation, communication, and utilities is essential for supporting economic activity and connecting the growth pool to other regions. And Shanghai features world-class infrastructure comprising a comprehensive transportation networks such as ports, airports, high-speed rail, cutting-edge telecommunications, and dependable utilities. Impact on surrounding cities such as Beijing, Guangzhou, and Shenzhen. The relationship between Shanghai and other major cities is more complex than a straightforward growth pole and periphery model. These cities are also important economic centers in their own right and can be viewed as growth poles. And these are how they interact. For Beijing, there are complementary roles, competition, and also interdependence. So Beijing serves as China's political and cultural center, while Shanghai focuses on finance and trade. Beijing excels in education, research, and high-tech industries. Beijing and Shanghai compete somewhat, particularly in attracting talent and investment in emerging industries. The two cities are linked by strong economic ties. Beijing offers policy guidance and research capabilities, while Shanghai provides financial and commercial expertise. And then there is Guangzhou. There are regional growth holes, linkage, and also competition and cooperation. Shenzhen, innovation hub, special economic zone, and competition and synergy. For Guangzhou is a significant growth pool in southern China, serving as a manufacturing and trade center. Guangzhou benefits from its proximity to Hong Kong and its role as a gateway to Southeast Asia. Shanghai and Guangzhou compete in some sectors and cooperate in trade and investment. In Shenzhen is a dynamic and rapidly growing city known for its innovation, technology, and manufacturing. Shenzhen's status as a special economic zone has allowed it to experiment with market-oriented reforms and attract foreign investment. Shenzhen's focus on technology complements Shanghai's financial strength. Both cities drive economic growth and innovation in China. And here is the nuances and considerations. The first is multipolarity. So China's economic landscape is increasingly multipolar, with several significant cities acting as growth engines. And the government policies play a significant role in shaping the development of growth poles and their interactions. Regional disparities. So the growth poles can stimulate economic development but may also worsen regional disparities if the benefits are not shared equitably. And less is sustainable development. Growth pole development's environmental and social impacts must be considered, ensuring that progress is sustainable and inclusive. Next is the spread effect. Spread effects refer to the positive impacts of growth diffusing outwards from the center. For this case is Shanghai, to the periphery or surrounding regions. And it can take several forms. The first is increased demand for goods and services, upstream industries, and consumer goods. As Shanghai's economy grows, so does its demand for raw materials, intermediate goods, and agricultural products. This creates opportunities for businesses in nearby areas, including Beijing, Guangzhou, and Shenzhen, to supply these inputs. For instance, if Shanghai's manufacturing sector expands, the demand for specialized components produced in Shenzhen or raw materials sourced from Guangdong province, where Guangzhou is located, will likely increase. Shanghai's expanding population and rising affluence drive a greater demand for consumer goods and services. This creates opportunities for companies in other cities to meet this demand through direct sales or by supplying materials to Shanghai-based consumer product manufacturers. Then job creation through supply chain linkage. There are specialized manufacturing, logistics, and transportation. and also service industries. The third is flow of capital and technology. There are investment, technology transfer, and research and development collaboration. And the fourth is improvement in infrastructure, transportation networks, and utilities and communication. And here are the specific examples of the spread effect. A. Agricultural products. So Shanghai's demand for fresh produce and processed foods can drive agricultural development in the surrounding rural areas, resulting in higher incomes for farmers and generating jobs in food processing and distribution. B is high-tech manufacturing. Shanghai's high-tech industries may depend on Shenzhen for specialized electronic component supplies, fostering a vibrant ecosystem of suppliers and manufacturers in Shenzhen. C. Financial services. Shanghai's financial sector could collaborate with firms in Beijing to create new financial products and services, utilizing Beijing's regulatory expertise and research capabilities. The backwash effects. Backwash effects revert to the negative consequence peripheral areas face due to the concentration of growth in a central hub. Here's how these effects can appear in the context of Shanghai and its relationship with Beijing, Guangzhou, and Shenzhen. The first is drain of resources and labor. There are skilled labor migration, capital flight, and resource extraction. Second one is concentration of investment and economic activity. There are uneven development and stunted growth. As Shanghai continues to draw an unequal share of investment and economic activity, other cities may struggle to keep up. This could result in increasing income disparities and feeling left behind. Local industries in other cities might struggle to compete with the larger, more established companies in Shanghai, which could impede their growth and development. And the third is decline of local industries. So Shanghai's industries might outpace local businesses in other cities, causing their decline or closure. For instance, a specialized manufacturing company in Guangzhou could struggle to compete with a larger, more technologically advanced rival in Shanghai. And there are loss of market share and dependence. And here are the specific examples of the backwash effect. The first is brain drain from Beijing. Recent graduates from Beijing's top university may opt to work in Shanghai's thriving financial sector, potentially depriving Beijing of skilled professionals in other fields. The second one is investment shift from Guangzhou. Investors in Guangzhou may redirect their capital to the real estate market in Shanghai, resulting in a slowdown of construction and development projects in Guangzhou. And the third one is competition for Shenzhen's tech sector. Shanghai's initiatives to cultivate its tech industry may attract talent and investment away from Shenzhen, possibly impeding Shenzhen's development as a tech hub. Now is GRDP, or Gross Regional Domestic Product. Gross Domestic Product of region or gross state product, is a statistic that measures the size of a region's economy. It's the aggregate of gross value added of all resident producers units in the region and analogous to national gross domestic product. And here is the GRDP of Shanghai, Beijing, Guangzhou, and Shenzhen. Now we're gonna calculate the total income growth. Here is the GRDP at constant prices table, 2010 condition in billion yuan and 2020 condition. So in the 2010, the total income was 1,755.5 billion Chinese yuan. In 2020, the total income was 3,900 billion Chinese yuan. The increase is 3,900 subtract by 1,755.5 equal 2,144.5 billion Chinese yuan. The percentage increase is 2,144.5 divided by 1,755.5 times 100 equals 120.16% approximately. So the table here shows that at current prices, regional income will increase from 1,755.5 billion Chinese yuan to 3,900 billion Chinese yuan, or 122.16% in 10 years. However, this doesn't fully capture the overall increase in regional welfare. This is because this simple comparison doesn't consider factors like inflation, income distribution, and environmental impact. And now, let's calculate the total income growth at constant price. Here is the table of 2010 condition in billion Chinese yuan and 2020 constant 2010 prices billion Chinese yuan. So the tables show that the regional income measured in constant 2010 prices increases from 1,755.5 billion Chinese yuan to 3,000 billion Chinese yuan, or 70.89% in 10 years. However, this increase doesn't fully capture the overall increase in regional welfare. This because this simple comparison doesn't consider factors like inflation, income distribution, and environmental impact. While the real production has increased, the actual well-being of the population might not have improved proportionally. And the last is the growth rates. Here are the table of 2010 condition in billion Chinese yuan and 2020 constant 2010 prices billion Chinese yuan. There are primary industry, secondary industry, and tertiary industry. So the table shows the changes in the regional economy between 2010 and 2020 measured in constant 2010 prices. The primary and secondary industries experienced declines of 49.68% and 6.78% respectively. However, the tertiary industries saw a significant increase of 147.24%, leading to an overall growth of 70.89% in the regional economy. Okay, thank you so much for your attention. See you next time.